We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, protecting the frogs, betterwater.com. We appreciate you joining the show however you're joining the show. I see Mason. Mason wants to hit the button. Hit the button. Just hit it. Oh, you got to turn it on first, Mason.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
It's a reason.
It's a great reason.
Betterwater.com. It's funny again. You notice that?
Love it.
I found it funny again. We're going to have a lot of company over today. We got, I don't know if you know this. There's an election. Did you know? I'm finding out today.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Should probably go vote.
Have you done it yet?
No, I'll be doing it this afternoon.
All right, bet. You found some time?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mason was nervous he wasn't going to find time to vote yesterday.
I was a little nervous.
Like, after sitting through 3,000 Mark Pody jingles, you didn't vote? What?
Listen, I may have gotten a little numb.
I like the Mark Pody jingle. I
think
think,
it's
I think we're all going to miss it. And I think it's like one of those things, like, don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened.
I was going to say, I could make it a hotkey.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, as I said it out loud.
In a couple weeks, it might be funny again.
Yeah.
That's how these things work.
Just might hear markpody.com.
Markpody.com.
Just in the background.
My 4-year-old's been singing that.
Good.
I mean, it's an earworm. A lot of elections up for grabs today. A lot of primaries. County mayors, sheriffs, county commissions, trustees. We got school boards, whatever. You know, a lot of people want a lot of jobs. If any of those individuals would like to call in today and make their elevator pitch, you're more than welcome to. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. If any of you listeners would like to call in today and make a pitch on behalf of your preferred candidate, 615-737-9986. I mean, the phones, they lit up as soon as we started the show. We already had people waiting to chime in. And one of those individuals is Todd Werner. What's up, Mr. Werner? How are you?
Good, Chris. Good morning, Nashville and Middle Tennessee. We're out here at the polls in Unionville, Tennessee, working the polls today.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, Todd, but when you were here with Dan Mandis, you left your glasses here.
Uh-oh. I think that's probably, a $2.50 pair of reading glasses?
All right, well, we've been keeping them safe for you if you need them.
Yeah, I tell you what, if y'all don't mind, just donate them to Murphy in the afternoon. He may need them at some point in time.
Okay, all right. Is that a backhand? Is that a diss? Do you have an issue with Murphy?
No.
I feel like that was a diss. I feel like you're dropping subliminals on the air already.
He's been a little rough on me lately, but tell him he might need those glasses at some point in time, and I just want to donate them to him.
Okay, I'll let him know. I really will. All right, so you're running for the 9th District, 8th-generation Tennessee farmer, small business owner. You've served the State House since 2021. Famously, you were walking around with the Trump flag during the redistricting battles, wearing it like a cape, a big fan. Why leave the legislature now to run for Congress in the brand new 9th District?
Yes, sir. Running in the new 9th District. Served in the House, as you said, for 6 years, consistently ranked one of the most conservative members of the House. And this new 9th District needs a strong conservative voice that's going to represent the people and be the people's voice and not be the career politicians and the establishment's voice.
You're in a crowded race for the new 9th. You got Brent Taylor, Charlotte Bergman, Jeremy Thompson. What separates you specifically from the others, especially Brent Taylor? Just like I said earlier, I am the voice of the people. I will not sell them out to the special interests. I've represented my district well and consistently been their voice. And we haven't tried to buy this seat. We have worked our tails off across this new 9th District. We've knocked over 30,000 doors. We've been in the mailboxes, on TV. We've been outspent. We don't have the big endorsements. But the only endorsement today that we're looking for is the endorsement of the people, and I think we'll get it at the end of the afternoon. People in small-town Tennessee do not want a Memphis politician represent them. I can assure you that. Well, when it comes to the endorsements, your opponents have leaned heavily on them. You've downplayed that. You've said rural voters have feeling forgotten. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, they just feel like they're forgotten. They're not. I'm telling you right now, the people down in Savannah and Wayne County are not worried about the Trump endorsement right now. They're worried about what it costs them at the grocery store every time they go in the grocery store. These farmers are fixing to start harvesting corn and soybeans. They're worried about fuel prices, those kind of things. They want somebody that's going to go fight for them and not fight for the special interests. We hadn't took one red cent of PAC money, and we've pretty much self-funded this thing. And maybe raise about $100,000, and that's what the people want. They feel so forgotten in these rural counties, and our promise to them is not to forget them.
I mean, you've loaned a significant amount of money to yourself for this campaign. Why are you betting on yourself so heavily?
I care about this state. I care about this new 9th District, and these people deserve somebody that's going to stand up and fight for them.
A lot of your campaign has been focused on farmers. What concrete steps would you take in Congress to protect family farms from federal regulations, foreign land ownership, trade policies that hurt producers?
Just anything to cut regulations on farmers. One big regulation or one regulation that we have in place is the DEF fluid that goes in this equipment now, the diesel exhaust fluid. When the warranty runs out on a piece of new equipment, you start having trouble with that DEF. Even the service mechanics that come from the dealership, they can't fix it. They got to start changing out parts. It's a nightmare for farmers. I would be looking to cut that regulation, but such as the farm bill. That farm bill ought to be just about farmers. It shouldn't be porked up with a bunch of other garbage, and things like that all stand for and make sure that these farmers are protected. I'm against any foreign countries that are our adversaries, from buying up our farmland. We've tried to put regulations in place in Tennessee to stop that kind of stuff, and I've always supported that.
You've been one of the more conservative members of the state legislature for years. What are some things that you're really proud of that you've been able to accomplish, and what are some things you wish you could take back?
I've always carried a bunch of conservative legislation. Sometimes it's a struggle to get some of that legislation across the finish line. Voter integrity stuff, I've been big on that. Our Second Amendment, I've carried a bill, Tennessee Firearms Protection Act, that we got across the line I was proud of. But one bill that I stood against, and I still stand against, is these school vouchers that we are funding in this state where we're funding Muslim schools. I support school choice 100%. I support President Trump's plan for school choice 100%. But what we passed in Tennessee is a voucher scam. It's not true school choice. And let me give you an example of that. True school choice, if I wanted to take my child from Chapel Hill and carry it to the special school district in Franklin that the city runs, they charge an out-of-county student $4,000 to come into that special school district from Chapel Hill. Well, guess what? The voucher won't pay for that child to go from public school to public school, but it'll pay for a child to go from public school to a Muslim school. And to me, that's just not right. It's not constitutional either.
We're talking with Todd Warner. He's running for Congress in the new 9th District. The district runs from Memphis all the way into Williamson County. So how are you going to balance the needs of a district that is this vast and so different? Like, how do you balance the rural counties that make up a huge chunk of it with the suburban areas that make up a pretty big chunk of it?
I think you just got to be there for the people. I mean, you got to listen to their concerns, and whether it be Social Security issues, veteran issues, you got to be there for the people and listen to them and see how we can help them. And that's what we'll do.
Are there any areas where you break from President Trump? I mean, his agenda has been a big part of your campaign. So is there any places where you differ?
Not really. The Iran war, I think we've messed around over there too long. I think we should have been able to get. I would have thought we would have been able to get in there and get out. That thing needs to end one way or another. We need to go back to bombing them. Let's go back to bombing them, and let's get out of there. We don't need to keep dragging out because, as we all know, it affects everything over here. It affects our energy and just energy drives everything. So that would be the biggest thing right now is getting out of that Iran war.
We're talking with Todd Warner. He is running for the 9th District for Congress. If you win the primary and then the general election, if we're future casting this thing, what do you want people to be able to say about you after 2 years in Congress? What's the single most important thing you want voters in the 9th to be able to say?
And it's the same thing I've been saying since day one. I want them to be able to say, Todd Warner has been our voice. He's listened to us. He didn't go to Washington and forget about us. He went to Washington, and when he came home, he came to see us.
Well, Todd, man, I appreciate the time, and I wish you luck in your election this evening.
And please give those glasses to Murphy this afternoon.
Okay, I'll make sure. I'm going to bring them with me to the party tonight, all right?
All right, good deal. Y'all have a good time tonight.
All right, brother.
Good luck to everyone.
I appreciate it, man. God bless. Todd Warner, running for the 9th District Congressional. Was he sub-dissing Murphy here with the glasses? You feel like he was sub-dissing him?
I think Murphy's a little blind.
I don't know. What do you think? Whoa! Todd Warner's a little blind. I don't know. These are some. I don't know if I would classify these as readers.
A little thick.
I couldn't see a darn thing once I put them on. Do I look sophisticated?
You look ready.
Quick, put up a poll on YouTube. How good do I look in Todd Warner's glasses? Am I supposed to be doing that? Probably not.
Probably not.
I'll give them to Murphy. I think Murphy would look good. Drop a like if you like the glasses. All right, so anybody that's running for any office in Tennessee today, we'll cede the floor to you. And I feel like we'll ask good questions. We'll make it happen. We'll do it on the fly. I don't have any real plans. I do know that at some point, Mr. Fritz, maybe you've heard of him, Monty Fritz is going to call in. I do know at some point, Mr. Ogles, Andy Ogles is going to call in. That's the only thing I really have on the radar today, but anybody's welcome to call in, whether it's Blackburn, John Rose, you name your favorite or your least favorite. They're welcome to call in. And then the lesser knowns too. I would honestly, I know we're gonna have Fritz on, and I know we're gonna have Ogles. We might get John Rose on. I would prefer if we get a lot of traction with the lower level elections, the ones that are actually going to impact you at the lower level, the ones that we don't get a lot of information and we don't necessarily dedicate a lot of airtime to. So that's the circuit court clerks and the register of deeds and the school boards and the county commissioners and all the things. If you're running for one of those offices, we will absolutely get you on the air. If you're running for sheriff, you're running for whatever, you name it, we will absolutely get you on the air. All you got to do is make the phone call, 615-737-9986. We want to be the voice of the people today. We want to get as much information out there as humanly possible. It has been a long campaign season, but we're almost at the finish line here until we move the goalposts to the general. And then there'll be another round of jingles and jangles and political ads about who's a better farmer, who's a better businessman, who's more Trumpy Trump than the other Trumpy Trump. You know what I mean?
Hopefully no fortune cookies.
There's going to be fortune cookies.
Ah,
I'll bring the fortune cookies if I need to. Damn it.
big fan.
Huge fan.
Allegedly.
Huge fan. My favorite cookies are Chinese. Everybody knows it.
Chinese cookies made in America.
Chinese cookies that are actually Japanese from San Francisco.
We love them.
We love them. Did you see the meme, though, where it was the lady who was, I don't know if she was a liberal or what, but it was hilarious, where she was pretending to be Marsha Blackburn. And she's like, I'm so tough on Italy. I'm tired of these little Italies popping up everywhere. And she's like snapping spaghetti. Did you see that one?
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't
but that's
see that?
good.
I dropped it in the meme chat on Instagram. I got a few more people that I need to add to the meme chat. I got some messages last night. They were like, please add me to your meme chat.
Please.
And trust me, I'm going to add you to the meme chat. Things get busy. Things get haywire, especially in my house right now.
Yeah, with how many posts fly by through that thing every day?
We got and then I got a lot of kids, and there's some things I can slide under the radar and be like, this is work. But my wife is like, can you focus for a second? And I'm like, I'm adding people to the meme chat. She's like, is that really a priority? I'm like, all right, fair. I'll hold off on adding people to the meme chat.
It's just as important as the lightning round.
But the meme chat's sick, by the way.
We love them.
It's unhinged. If you want in the meme chat, send me a DM on Instagram at Chris Hand on Air. Hit the follow button while you're there as well. We'll take some more calls from your candidates as well as you. If you want to endorse somebody, you're welcome to call in as well. 615-737-9986. It's 922 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Better Water LLC. Let me tell you about my friends at Better Water.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
There's reasons why you need these guys. They're also going to be our big premier title sponsor of our party tonight at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro as we watch the election results roll in with you. So you can ask them about all the good things that they do. These guys will test your water for free, and if you got anything nasty in there, they'll remove it lickety-split. What could you have in your water? Let me tell you. Sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, even E. coli. That's not good. And give yourself at least the peace of mind. If they test your water and there's nothing in there, that's what they say. If you got something nasty in there, you don't want to be making your coffee with that water in the morning. You don't want to be bathing in that water. And I heard Murphy yesterday, I didn't even think about this because I don't really have a green thumb, but he's like, you don't want to water your plants with water with a bunch of chlorine in it. I mean, I really wouldn't have ever thought of that. I'm the kind of guy that my wife went on vacation for a little while and I was accidentally watering the fake plants. I thought I was doing a great job too. Seriously. But if you have a green thumb, you don't want water with chlorine in it. So if you got that nasty stuff in there, Better Water will tell you. They offer a range of options, reverse osmosis, specialized filters, UV lights. They can clean it up. You should clean up your water today. It starts with a phone call, 615-355-6063, 615-355-6063, or find them online, betterwater.com.
Coming up, we'll tell you why a local murder trial has been put on pause. That's coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I'm already getting some messages on Instagram. People are saying, please add me to the meme chat. And I just, some of these people look really, really nice. You know what I mean? You ever get nervous? Mason like warns me. I'll run the profile by him and I would be like, I don't know. That person seems a little too sweet for the kind of memes you're throwing around in that chat.
I don't think Susie is ready for the affront.
I don't want to scare you away from the meme chat, but I do think you need a necessary warning.
Warnings are needed.
Like, you're gonna see some stuff that you wish you didn't. That's what we do in the meme chat.
Just a heads up.
If you're easily offended, it's probably not the chat for you. But I'll put you in it anyway. Might make it funnier.
You asked for it.
At Chris Hand on air, shoot me a DM, and I'll start adding people to the meme chat. Also, if you got a candidate or you are a candidate running in an election today, you're welcome to join the show. 615-737-9986. We got Tom Davis, who's running for the 4th District on the line. We'll get to him next. We also got John in the borough. I don't think John's running for any office, but he wants to talk about Blackburn, and he wants to talk about Thune, so we'll get John on as well. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, I'm not gonna sub diss Mason the way Todd Werner was going at Matt Murphy a little while ago in the show.
Throwing hand?
I just I don't often make Mason do the title, but we were obviously running late today because of Dan Mandis's poor clock management.
Just a little bit.
So we were behind the 8 ball. So Mason's like, "What do you want for the title on the stream?" And I was like, "You figure it out. Like, you're good." And then I look at it and it says primary culminates tonight, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, Mason, culminates?
Culminates is a good word.
Culminates?
It's a good word. It makes sense.
Never use the word. You're the director of algorithm tickling, and I don't know if the word culminates tickles the algo the way you think it does.
All right, I'll get my bigger feather out. I'll see what I can do.
All right. It's fine. Just leave it.
No.
What's done is done. What's done? I don't know.
Can't stop me now.
Maybe we should put a poll up. It's not gonna culminate. It's just, this is like we're moving on to another round of the incessant advertisements.
Fair.
There's no culmination. Will there be a coronation?
That's why I said primary.
All right, we'll get to that soon. Tom Davis, John of the Borough, anybody else that wants to call in, you running for an office, 615-737-9986. It's 9:31 on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 9:31. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and this is primary election day. There may be some changes for voters because of redistricting in Tennessee. Davidson County Election Administrator John Richardson saying that polling locations have not changed, but he tells WSMV4 that you may have different names on your ballot.
Making sure that people are confident when they go to vote is important to us here at the Davidson County Election Commission. And that's why we sent out canary yellow voter registration cards to all registered voters in Davidson County so they can know exactly where to vote on Election Day. Please pay close attention to that congressional district number. That'll tell you what district you're now in.
And don't forget to bring your ID with you. Questions can be answered at nashville.gov/vote. Less than a week out from jury selection, and the murder trial of Paul Park has been delayed. Park is the man accused of killing Alyssa Lockett as she was jogging at the Mill Creek Greenway. Here's Channel 4's Lauren Lowry.
Police say the two did not know each other, and the attack was not provoked. A mental health evaluation was ordered for Park. We have yet to learn what's come from that. But at a pretrial status hearing this morning, the judge pushed the trial back so that experts for the defense could finish their reports. Another hearing will happen in December, and trial could start in January.
Alyssa Lockett's family says they're disappointed in the decision. It prolongs the trauma for not just the family, but the community. And a Senate committee led by Rand Paul is skipping the full vote in the Senate and sending a referral for prosecuting Anthony Fauci directly to the DOJ.
Seeking the truth is not a witch hunt. Accountability is not vengeance. Accountability is what stands between the American people and a repeat of the mistakes and the very real consequences of the past.
The committee voted along party lines. That is the latest news. We've got weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
39 minutes past the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I got a gang of people I need to add to the meme chat now. Did you see me writing down notes? I don't think people understand how arduous of a process this is.
Take some time.
Well, because you can't, you have to go into the meme chat, and then you have to add everybody individually. So
Yep.
this is just so you know, when you get added to the offensive meme chat, I have to, write things down, and then I have to refer to my notes. And then
Type it out.
Yeah, and then I have to type it out individually. So we don't have an intern for this kind of stuff, but I wish we did. Do you think I'd get in trouble with HR if I made an intern add listeners to the offensive meme chat? Potentially. But what if the rules were explicitly to not view the memes?
View at your own risk.
I feel like I would have to say you can't look at them
Yeah.
to avoid that.
You advise not to look at them.
I think I would have to be pretty adamant about it. Just because of the flair, I guess I would say.
The level.
The flair.
The Ric Flair.
We got a lot of people waiting to talk. 615-737-9986. It's a big primary day here in Tennessee. Let's start with my friend and yours. This guy wants to be the next governor of Tennessee. Monty Fritz is on the line. What's up, Monty? How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, my brother. How y'all today?
Man, we're great. We woke up. That's a good start. God got us going. Where are you today?
Right now, I'm in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I'm visiting voting precincts. I just left a precinct that what we call Pine Ridge, where all the ladies in the church bake cookies and stuff so that the voters have a little treat for getting out.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm headed into the energy capital of the world, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and go visit some folks there and trying to make a good day of it, finish strong, and get another opportunity to tell these Tennesseans I love them.
Well, I mean, I heard your interview earlier with Dan, and I just want to echo what Dan Mandis said earlier this morning. You have run a heck of a campaign, man. How are you feeling about it going into the primary this evening?
I look forward to winning tonight. I'll be surprised if we don't win. I think Tennesseans are thirsty for liberty and less government. But I tell you, the journey has been worth the destination. The people we've met, I talked about y'all's radio station. I talk about radio stations in Memphis and Knoxville and Johnson City, and just the people I've gotten to know. God has so blessed me. It's been an arduous journey, but the blessing has been mine to get to do this.
I mean, your path has been a little different. You haven't had the money that John Rose or Marsha Blackburn has had, but you've been everywhere. I mean, I saw you on with Todd Starnes. I saw you on with Laura Logan. I saw you on with Young Buck from G Unit. I mean, not many gubernatorial candidates are on a podcast with Young Buck.
Hey, David's a great guy.
Listen.
I mean, he's a great guy to talk to, and he's got a great life story.
You know, it's funny. I was laughing with my wife. I didn't know that if we were doing the 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, we would have Young Buck as a common denominator between you and I. But back when I worked in hip hop in Boston, I met Young Buck years ago. So it kind of made me chuckle. What have you learned that has surprised you the most during this campaign season?
That people are so frustrated with career politicians that to the point they don't even feel like they want to vote. They feel like that at every level, state level and even local levels, especially the national level, that we have these career politicians that get in and become part of the system and forget about the people they work for. But I think I hear the bones rattling in Tennessee. To go to Ezekiel 37, I think I hear the bones rattling bone to bone, and I think that there is an awakening that's taken place in young and old, but especially in the young people in Tennessee, that they're going to stand up and have their voices heard.
We're talking with Monty Fritz. He is running to be your governor. The election takes place today. Polls open now, 7 to 7. And we'll be taking the results in with you at Hop Springs and Murfreesboro. Monty, you're obviously invited. If you win the race tonight and you were to future cast down the road, how would you want your tenure as the governor of Tennessee to be remembered?
That he left more money in the pockets of the average Tennesseans, that the revenue was generated and kept more of it in the county than going to Nashville, that we recalibrated the state government in Nashville, Tennessee, that they work under the authority of the Constitution and the Word of Almighty God, and that you never had to wonder what I was thinking, so you could always have an open dissent and still love one another at the end of it. But I'm not going to be that mealy-mouthed, beat-around-the-bush politician that we've become all too accustomed to. I'm going to take on the difficult issues.
Hey, and this is exactly why you earned my vote, Monty, and I appreciate you for coming on the show as much as you have, being as open as you are, and being as unapologetically Christian as you are. Where can people find you and learn more about you if they're making a last-minute decision today?
Fritz, Fritts, the number 4, TN.com, or any of the social media. Just look for Monty, Monty, Fritz, Fritts. We're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Twitter, we're on you name it. And I've got videos out that you can hear the words from my mouth, what I'm committing to. You won't see a campaign manager that's handed me a couple bullets and said, here, you need to say this. I'm my own campaign manager. I worry about those people that need to be managed to get elected. What are they going to do when they do get elected?
It's a good point. You're actually, before I let you go, your social media campaign has been pretty savage. Have you learned anything about social media that surprised you?
Yeah, that we have good volunteers, that it is we have people putting in an hour or two here, a few hours there, and we've got folks from their teens to their 70s that are helping with that. And I have learned that social media is much like everything in life. Get people around the table, get them to talk, find their common purpose, and design it, take my words and send it out.
It's a huge amplifier, and it's been working for you, Monty. Good luck tonight, and keep us posted on how things are going, all right?
Hey, I'll miss you all tonight, but we're doing a watch party in Harriman tonight, and I've got to be home for that. So we're going to give the Lord some praise tonight and thank him for the journey.
Hey, God bless. Monty Fritz, everybody. He wants to be governor of Tennessee. We appreciate the time, Monty.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Big fan of Monty Fritz. We got a lot of people waiting on the line. They're running for office in and around Tennessee. Let's go to my friend Tom Davis, who wants to be your next congressional representative for the 4th District. He's running against Desjardins. This is another guy that's got a bit of an uphill battle when it comes to the fundraising and more. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Appreciate you opening it up like this and having me on.
Absolutely. Tell me what you would want to bring to the table in Congress that you aren't seeing there today.
An actual constitutional conservative. What we have now is a guy that is very comfortable and complacent. And I think you can see that in one example is the VA clinic in McMinnville that was set to be closed. And he was more than happy just to kind of throw his hands up in the air. And like not even a harshly worded letter to the VA. And he was actually pulled off his hands to get into the fight a little bit by another congressional representative. But and then even now, the process is not there. That clinic will remain open until the end of the year. However, they're still dragging their heels on it as far as actually fixing it and keeping it open. And conveniently enough, it's just through election season. And I truly believe if we wind up with him as our representative again, that clinic will close. 1,870 veterans will be impacted by that. And just got caught flat-footed, didn't know it was happening. So that's something we don't see from him as being involved in the district. My commitment has been quarterly town halls, which I will continue. I've already done 3 of them, and I see no reason that can't be done. I've watched the congressional schedule, and we'll continue that so that we can sit down and talk about things. So that's something a little bit different, is just being in the district. Like I said, I believe he's comfortable, he's complacent, and just is not willing to, or doesn't feel a need to show up and actually talk to Tennesseans.
Tom Davis wants to be your congressional representative for the 4th District. I'll ask it like this, Tom, because a lot of people are, you're still battling the name recognition fight, right? So, in sports, we do the pro comps, and you'll have a kid coming out of school and you'll be like, okay, he reminds me of this athlete. If we were going to do a pro comp to you with current members of Congress, who would you say would more closely be your pro comp?
And you've asked me this before, and before I'd said Thomas Massey, and I think that's still pretty similar, just because of the constitutional aspect of it. But I kind of feel like I'm my own man, if you will, and I believe it's important to listen to the representative or the citizens in the district. And I don't think in a lot of cases we're getting that. What we're getting now in particular is, I want to out-Trump everybody. And the job of the representative is not to out-Trump everybody. It is an America First agenda. And this is part of my fight, if you will, in getting this out, is that the job of the U.S. House representative is first and foremost to defend the Constitution. And then the next one is that it is the House rep's job to defend the individual liberties of the citizens. That was the original design and intent. And we've got to get away from this notion now that it's up to the rep to go to Washington, D.C. and claw back and beg and do all the weird things to get the money back into the district here in Tennessee. The money should be left in Tennessee, and it should be left up to Tennesseans to decide what they're going to do with that money. So that's more of the fight and the difference. And then, like I said, the comparing me to somebody else, I guess, is that's kind of where we would be at.
I think that's a great answer. Your own man. Let me rephrase it. Who do you look at in Congress today as somebody that you could work with?
I would attempt to work with all of them, because that's how you do it up there, is you build some of those coalitions, and more so a new voice in there and that perspective, that fresh perspective. So I would say I will attempt to work with all of them, and it will be up to them whether they pick up what I'm putting down, and that's part of my job is to get that that the coalitions and be part of some of those, like the Freedom Caucus, and work within those organizations.
Tom Davis is running for Congress in the 4th District. 30-second elevator pitch to anybody that's thinking about voting for you over Desjardins.
Well, I appreciate that, Chris. And the 30-second it's about leadership and my background in the Army, and even after the Army in law enforcement, and then after that here in Tennessee with my VFW post. Has shaped me for this particular job. And all my stuff is out there, Tom Davis for Congress on Facebook. Everything else is Tom Davis TN4, the X Machine. A bunch of videos up on YouTube. And go out and look before you go to vote. And I'm already finding people today as I was walking around have already voted for me or heading into the polls to vote for me. So I think this is going to be an underrated win, one that was kind of overlooked, and I think we're going to be surprised. And like I said, I appreciate the time you put on here and everyone that has voted and participated, and just the whole journey has been amazing. Thank you, Chris.
Well, Tom, I appreciate the time and good luck tonight. Tom Davis, he's running up against Desjardins in the 4th District. I've met Tom a few times. Super nice guy. We got a couple more people that are waiting on the line. They want to get a piece of your time and let you know why they want you to vote for them. We'll get to those calls on the way, so hang on the line. It's 9:53. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That was my first time hearing that one.
It's pretty good.
I found myself dancing.
Yeah.
Does everybody else find themselves dancing?
A little grooving.
I feel like they kind of stole my lightning round music a little bit, but I'm not against it. But that's just how I feel.
You know what else you're not against?
My friends at the Glock store.
That's pretty good.
It's a bad thing to be against. I wouldn't want to be up against those guys. Let me tell you about my friends over at the Glock store. For starters, They got a big event happening on Saturday. It's O-Site Day at the Glock store. They had an exclusive event that we told you was going to sell out Friday. Spoiler alert, you should have listened. It's sold out, but they have an open to the public event on Saturday that you can still attend and you don't want to miss. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. O-Site reps on site, complete line of O-Site optics on display, exclusive in-store deals on O-Site optics. Like buying a box of Burrow bullets, you get to shoot the all-new O-Site SE MOS for free with no range fees. The cost of the Burrow bullets can then be applied to the purchase of the new O-Site SE MOS. So it's essentially free. Up to 30 of the new O-Site SE MOS optics will be given away on Saturday. $250 value. All attendees get a raffle ticket. No purchase necessary, but you got to be there to win. There's going to be free O-Site swag while supplies last. Come early for the best selection. There'll be food trucks on site. And also, put a little asterisk on this, Brian Wilson, Cabana Wife. They'll be in the building selling some of the delicious Cabana Wife cookies. If that's not a reason enough, I don't know what kind of reason you need. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, especially on Saturday for O-Site Day at the one, the only Glock store. Always open online, glockstore.com.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis from Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nashville's Morning News. I'm here with Chris from USS, United Structural Systems. He's checking out my basement, my foundation, my crawl space to see if there's anything wrong. Fingers crossed. All right, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we found some cracks in my basement wall. The good news, I've got Chris here who's going to walk me through the next steps.
Yes, so unfortunately, your house has been subject to the pressure of the dirt. The hydrostatic pressure, heavy dirt pushes on foundation walls, and you've got a little bit of what we call bowing. So that wall is pushed in a little bit. But we have a lifetime warranty solution for that. So we install, usually in a day or two, this can be done in most situations, we install carbon fiber straps, which keep the wall from moving inward at any point in the future. It's a lifetime warranty for anybody that ever owns this house. So it's a quick and routine thing that we do, but it yields some long-lasting benefits.
It's a great selling point if you want to sell your house.
Absolutely. Good thing about our warranties is they're not only transferable, like the contract says, they're automatically transferred when you sell your house. So you don't have to sign any paperwork or even send us an email saying that you sold your house. Warranty would transfer to the next owner.
Coming up here on Super Talk 99.7, the iPhone from Dr. Anthony Fauci is about to be exposed. That story's coming up at 10 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
How many inappropriate photos do you think he has?
Oh, I just can't think of them that way.
Well, here's the question.
Yeah.
What kind of inappropriate photos?
Yeah.
He seems like the kind of creep that might snap a pic of a cute lady walking by. That's what I'm saying.
You think?
He seems like a weirdo.
Oh, I can't think of him that way.
You only think of him as the science.
Yeah.
Is that it?
You know, his name is interchangeable with science.
That's it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. On the way, we got a lot of people waiting to talk on the line. Michelle, David, John, we'll get to your calls next. I appreciate you guys holding and being patient with us. We're opening the phone lines. It's primary day in Tennessee. But right now, we got to stop down for the headlines with Joan Jones. It's 10 o'clock on Super Talk.
Good morning, 10 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And the iPhone that Dr. Anthony Fauci used during the COVID pandemic is about to be exposed. The phone backup has been obtained by HHS and transferred to Senate Homeland Security Subcommittee on Investigations. The Wall Street Journal reporting today that Senators Rand Paul and Ron Johnson have received millions more Fauci documents from governor servers as well as their investigations deepen. A separate Senate panel has voted to hold Fauci in contempt for refusing to answer their questions despite having a pardon.
Mr. Chairman, on the vote of those present, the yeas are 8, the nays are 5. On the vote by proxy and for the record only, the yeas are 0, the nays are 2. On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 5, and the motion is agreed to.
Now, a referral for prosecution is headed to the DOJ. RFK Jr. has announced he has decertified the human harvesting company called Network for Hope. It's out of Kentucky. Health and Human Services said multiple federal reviews found patient safety failures that included some potential donors who were still alive, including TJ Hover. His sister spoke to the media yesterday.
I saw what happened to my brother. They prepared to recover his organs while he was still alive. During that honor walk, his eyes were open. He was tracking me, and they told me it was just reflexes. Then during the heart cath, he was thrashing, crying, and grabbing the doctor's hands to stop him. Even after those signs, the organ procurement process continued until the physician refused to proceed.
Network for Hope served Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia. An arrest in the workplace shooting death at a West Nashville U-Haul store that happened Tuesday. Here's Channel 4's Amber Giants.
Well, police say this all started with an argument that quickly escalated to gunfire at this U-Haul here on Annex Avenue. Now, right now, the store remains closed as the investigation continues. 23-year-old Devin Rice has been taken into custody and has been charged with criminal homicide. Now, police say during an interview, he admitted to arguing with his coworker about a drink before shooting him.
That 56-year-old coworker died at the hospital. And you remember this story, the Canadian woman who was seen attacking a teenager over her Trump hat and ICE sweatpants on a New Jersey boardwalk? Well, that woman is finally being deported. Caitlin Tracy was seen on video July 4th weekend slapping that teenage girl. DHS says that Tracy entered the U.S. in April of 24, but overstayed her visa. It had expired 6 months later. A spokesperson says Tracy received full due process and is headed home to Canada. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
So this dude's dog wanders into the shot. And who is this guy?
So this is Hassan Piker. He's a left-wing streamer. He's very radical Muslim, friends with Mamdani, big Mamdani supporter. And, you know, this is just an insight to the kind of people they truly are at home. And he's on his live stream.
Yeah.
And as you said, his dog gets in the shot, won't sit down, which I understand. But at the same time, this dog is not getting in his way or anything. He is simply just circling, or as my wife would call it, nesting, trying to find that comfy spot.
Yeah.
So he shocks him.
Much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just f***ing go, just stop.
You know, kind of ironic this guy is
Oh,
talking
my
about
gosh.
violence.
Yeah, right?
While he shocks his dog. His dog's literally not even doing anything. He's just, as you said, he's circling in the background.
Yep.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're opening the phone lines today to all the candidates running in Tennessee's primaries. We'll be taking in the results of these primaries this evening down at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro. Murphy's going to be out there at 3 o'clock. Then myself, Mandis, Benson, Weaver, we're all going to join them. And we're going to take you into the evening as we get the results in real time. The over-under by our own internal polymarket odds set by Ken Weaver was that we'd get results by 9:30. We are not California. It should not take a couple weeks. But if we got to stay on the air later than 10 o'clock, we are willing, ready, and able. So be ready for that. If you can't make it out to Hop Springs, it'll be live on your radio, and it'll be live on YouTube. So great reasons to watch. You can put us on instead of some stale coverage. We'll have fun. I promise. In the meantime, we got candidates calling in and we got voters calling in. We'll get to the candidates in 2 seconds. We got a couple voters that have been waiting on the line. John in the borough, you're up first. Appreciate you holding this as long as you have, man.
Hey, Chris. I just wanted to give a thumbs up on Todd. He mentioned a small thing that the soccer moms wouldn't really relate to, but the diesel fluid, that was an Obama deal, one of those green deals, and it's just killing the big equipment operators. But my main call was about Marsha Blackburn. Did you know that she voted for John Thune?
I am not sure if she did or not. I have heard that she has, and I've also heard that she didn't.
Well, it was a secret vote.
Exactly. I mean, so that's kind of, unless you hear it directly from her, it's hard to confirm or deny.
I called her office, and they wouldn't confirm it. But everybody that voted, I think it was Rick Scott and John Cornyn were running for the same position. And everybody that voted against Thune sort of held their hand up, like your Ted Cruz's.
Mm-hmm.
And where I'm going with this is she's swamped, man. I mean, if there ever was. And I just wonder if the reason she wants this governor to be the governor, she still wants her royal status, but is it maybe she just doesn't want to travel back and forth to D.C.?
I mean, that could be part of it. Your guess is as good as mine. Publicly she says she wants to do good by the state. So, but they would all say that.
Well, she won't debate.
It's true.
I'm sure she'll win. It's a bitter pill to swallow.
Well, who are you voting for?
Monty.
How many people have you told about Monty Fritz?
Well, you sort of got me there. I can't lie.
See, this is one of the things that we find a lot, and I don't mean to call you up personally because it's not even just you, but I've seen this everywhere. There are a lot of people that are willing to say Blackburn's the swamp, Blackburn is terrible, Blackburn's going to win anyway. I don't like Blackburn, but at the same time, people underestimate their own social influence. People don't have these conversations at church. People don't have these conversations at work. People don't have these conversations with their friends and family. And then you wonder why the grassroots can't get the steam that we need.
You're right.
So, I mean, it's and I've been saying this about the Republican Party writ large, Thune wants us to point fingers at the Democrats when it comes to the Save America Act. I think we can fix a lot of the issues in the conservative movement without even having to mention the Democrats. I think that a lot of the solutions come from looking inward. And I think the same thing can be said about Tennessee politics. If you're tired of the direction that it's going in, then you need to look inward and say, okay, I may be one man, but what can I do? And resigning to, this being a fait accompli or getting blackpilled, it's never going to advance the goals that you want to advance. So I would say there's always good candidates out there, but there's not always motivated people that want to get up and support those candidates.
Well, I'll take my tongue lashing.
Oh, I don't mean it to be. It's not just a you thing, John. Trust me, it's not just a you thing. But I do appreciate you calling in, man. And you're welcome on the show anytime.
Can I put a plug in for a county commissioner?
Yeah, give me it.
Okay, it's in Lincoln County. It's District 1, Don Jenkins. He's a retired colonel, and he is a conservative. I mean, if you look up the definition in the dictionary, there's Don. He's no nonsense.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Can you say his name one more time?
Don Jenkins.
Okay. Hey, if he's around, tell him to call in. I'll give him some time on the air.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. God bless. Let's go to Billy in Nashville. What's up, Billy?
Well, Chris, I had a unique way that I picked the candidates that I voted for this year. I never gave anybody permission to give my phone number out, and yet I'm getting inundated with texts and phone calls from all these different politicians. Even after I tell them to stop on the texts, they just do it from another number. So I kept count of the ones that I have gotten from them. The ones that bugged me the least is the ones I voted for.
I like it. It's unorthodox, but it may prove to be effective. I appreciate the call, Billy. Let's go to David Morgan. What office are you running for, sir?
Hey, my man, I am the current county executive in Lawrence County, Tennessee. I'm running for re-election.
All right, what does a county executive do, Mr. Morgan?
It's the same as the county mayor. So I'm the executive branch of government in Lawrence County. I'm the CFO of the county according to state law. I'm also the CEO of the county. So I present a budget to the commission. I preside over the budget committee, purchasing committee, anything has to do with finances. And then I manage the budget. So once the commission passes it, it's my responsibility to make sure that budget's properly managed and accounted for.
What are your big wins from your last term?
Man, we have signed into law last week. I got to sign the paperwork for the lowest property tax rate in the history of Lawrence County. That is huge for us, and there's a lot of contributing factors to that, but one, certainly not least, is sound fiscal management, conservative management. We've passed 4 balanced budgets, and we've added 62% to our fund balance along the way. So,
that's cool.
And it's been the best 4 years in Lawrence County history in every measurable metric. And I'll be honest, I had a little bit to do with that. But the majority, it was the commission working together with me, and then the citizens, man, just being entrepreneurial and working hard, and the growth we're seeing in Middle Tennessee. So, you know, Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County is right down at the bottom of southern Middle Tennessee on the Alabama-Tennessee line, and we are we are doing well and growing at a steady rate, a manageable rate. And I've got 5 kids. My wife Stephanie and I love doing what we do, and we look forward to serving Lawrence County again. We'd love to have the support of anybody from Lawrence County for sure that's listening in on the radio.
Let's go, man. Well, God bless you on the 5 kids. We're on our way to our 5th ourselves. It's dude, you got to run the zone defense. You know what I mean? That's the only way it works. But
after 2, we after 3, you just might as well have 5 or 6. And hey, I want to give a shout out. I've heard some of the candidates coming on, and I hope that it's not just political rhetoric to say we want to leave more money in the county. Some of these state candidates are saying they want to see money left in the counties. Well, the state of Tennessee keeps 7% of the 9.75% sales tax in Lawrence County. I hope that that's not just words, because I believe the best form of conservative governance is local governance, and we can make decisions with what to do with that money way better than Nashville. So I'm all for that. I'm all for property tax reform. I want to see real property tax reform come to Tennessee, but that has to happen at the state level. But me and many of the other county mayors in the state are fighting and working together with our state reps and senators to see some real property tax reform come.
What are your big goals in Lawrence County if you win your reelection bid?
Well, we're an agrarian county. We have over $100 million a year worth of income that comes into our county through agriculture. Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, is that so? What are your goals moving forward?
My goals are to keep Lawrence County. It's to manage the growth well, to keep our identity the way it is, a Judeo-Christian agrarian culture, but also create opportunity for our kids and grandkids to be able to stay right here in Lawrence County and work and serve and live and sit around my kitchen table, when I'm an old guy. So there's a lot to do and there's a lot to steer, and I just want to make sure we keep this place as special as it's always been.
We're talking with David Morgan. He wants to be the county executive for Lawrence County again. Where can people find out more about your campaign?
You can look me up on social medias. I'm all over that, David Morgan County Executive. And then you can also find me website. It's David Morgan for LawrenceCounty.com.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, appreciate it. See you. Bye-bye.
All right. We're doing this all day today. If you got a job that you want, you're running for re-election, you're welcome to call the show. 615-737-9986. If you aren't running for an office, but you want to give a shout out to a guy or gal that you want to win, you're welcome to call in as well. 615-737-9986. Let's go to Cindy Miller. She is the Tennessee Republican State Executive Committee woman for District 27, which covers Williamson County, including Brentwood and Franklin. Welcome to the show, Cindy. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for this time to speak with you today.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. You have held this seat since 2018. You're running for a re-election today. Why should the voters of District 27 in Williamson County, which covers Brentwood and Franklin, vote for you again?
Well, I've served for the last 8 years. The first 4, you spend kind of getting to know the issues across the state. It's not a cut and dry kind of thing. And so you kind of learn what the different needs are across the state as far as elections, and how do we ensure that it's a Republican candidate on our Republican ballot, because I probably don't need to remind you, we do not have closed primaries in Tennessee. And we have a lot of crossover voting, and so it is really important that we have Republican candidates that our Republican membership have to vote for.
What are a couple specific things that you've helped accomplish on the State Executive Committee that you're the most proud of?
Well, I've worked on the bylaws committee for the last 8 years, so we've helped to clean those up and to strengthen the language. And we've actually made a bona fide Republican, which currently is having voted in 3 of the last 4 statewide primaries, active and not have contributed or voted for a Democrat, to be considered a Republican that is able to run as a Republican candidate on the ballot. When I came on, it was 2 of 4, and the legislators could vouch for the person to be a candidate on the ballot. So we've brought it to a stronger standard, and we, the people, have more of a voice.
I'd like to hear that. You're facing a challenger this time. You previously ran unopposed. So why do you think someone is challenging you in this cycle?
You know, I'm not opposed to people being primaried. I mean, this has actually helped me to hear the people all across the district and to meet people, to network, hear their concerns, and to carry that with me when I'm reelected to the state party, so that we can further strengthen the affiliation of the membership with the state board.
What are some of the concerns that you're hearing from your voters, and maybe what are some of the criticisms?
Well, a big criticism is the crossover voting. That is probably the number one concern. And then the second concern is maintaining the quality of candidate that will hold to our traditions and our values. They don't want people moving in from New York, Chicago, California comes up, don't D.C., my Tennessee. You know, you hear all kinds of remarks, and they want Williamson County, they want Tennessee to stay the way that we've been for the most part. I mean, you want jobs, you want growth. I'm not anti any of those, but I'm from here. I graduated Franklin High School, and I know the traditions and the cultures right here in Franklin, Tennessee. And I love our county, and I want to maintain that. And so that's been one of the big things that people have been talking about, is closing the primaries, making sure we have quality candidates.
How do you balance keeping new residents from out of state happy with where they're living now, and the older lifelong residents? And I don't mean older as in age, but lifelong residents of your area. How do you balance keeping both of them happy?
It's tricky. I'm not going to lie. I mean, because I'm one of the people that have been here, and I appreciate our culture and our tradition. And so, you know, we just simply ask that if you move here for our tax base, our cost of living is kind of going up because of it, but it's still less expensive than some of the areas that they're moving from. Please don't come in and change the way we live. We respect that they want to come here, and we just want them to join us in the way we live and our culture, and embrace it.
If you lose your reelection bid today, are you worried that it's because of new transplants coming in?
You know, I can't really say that. It's been a blend of old and new that support me, and so that's going to hold true for my opponent. So I've been active for a very long time in politics, got my start fighting Islam, and so I won't go anywhere. I'll still be around. You'll still hear from me, and I'll still be active.
Cindy Miller, she's running for State Executive Committee woman, District 27. That's Williamson County, covers the Brentwood, Franklin area. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your time.
Can I give you my website real quick?
Absolutely.
It's votecindymiller.com, and I spell my name different. So it's VOTECYNDIMILLER.com.
CindyMiller.com, CYNDI Miller.com. VoteCindyMiller.com.
VoteCindyMiller.com. Yes.
Hey, I appreciate the time, Miss Miller. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We'll take some more phone calls on the other side. We got some more voters and some more candidates that want to get on the line. We're going to be doing this all show long, getting you as much information as we head up to the primaries this evening. Don't forget, we're going to be bringing the results in with you live at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro. You are welcome to come. It is a free event, open to all. We love being in the borough. We love being at Hop Springs. Murphy's going to get down there at about 3 o'clock to do his entire show live. And then myself, Mandis, Benson, Weaver, we're all going to be there at about 5-ish, and we're going to jump on the air with Murphy. We're going to take over the show. We're going to have an election special extravaganza on your radio, live on YouTube. It's going to be the best election coverage in the state. Everybody knows it. So make sure you find us on YouTube. You can get us on your TV if you can't join us at Hop Springs Live. And we look forward to seeing you there. It's 1025. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. The kids are heading back to school. I know, we're all celebrating. We're all excited. We're all ecstatic. But you got ready for that for like weeks, right? Well, it's time to rechannel some of that energy and get your home ready. It's the perfect time to do it. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is helping you save with their biggest back-to-school offers of the season. You schedule HVAC maintenance or complete any HVAC repair, you're going to get a free dryer vent cleaning. That's an added safety list item. And one less thing onto your to-do list. If you're thinking about a new system, you purchase a high-efficiency HVAC unit, and you'll be entered to win Busy Bee's Healthy Hive giveaway. That could land a local school of your choice a $1,500 sponsorship. Imagine the pizza party. Plus, qualified teachers, faculty, and staff can receive a free Beehive membership when a customer purchases or renews one and gifts it to them. If you need major plumbing work, you can get a $500 gift card with qualifying whole home repipes or mainline replacements. And as always, with approved credit, you can enjoy 0% financing for 18 months. Fix it now, pay for it later. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. BusyBeeHVAC.com. It's 1029 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. Why do you need them? Does anybody know why we need them? Mason knows why we need them. Do you know?
Yeah. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
We're doing things a little different here today on the show. Well, maybe not that different. We still got Alex. But what we're doing is we're opening up the phone lines. If you're running for an office in Tennessee, county executive, county commissioner, mayor, sheriff, whatever, goober, you're one of the gubernatorial candidates, you're running for Congress, you're welcome to call the program. We'll give you some time on the air. We'll let you make your pitch. 615-737-9986. If you are a voter and you want to make your message heard about why you're voting for a certain candidate, 615-737-9986. We'll be taking more of your calls on the other side. Right now, it's 10:30, so it's time for the news on Super Talk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Anthony Fauci isn't having a good day. He's going to be referred to the DOJ for prosecution for stonewalling senators' questions despite having a pardon. And that referral is on a fast track.
Remarkable about this is that anytime you have contempt of Congress, it usually bubbles up from the committee level and then it goes to the floor. And you have to have the entire body, be it the House or Senate, approve contempt of Congress and then make the referral to the Department of Justice. That is not what Rand Paul is doing here. This vote was a party line vote in the committee. 8-7, all Republicans for contempt, all Democrats against. And Rand Paul is going to do this unilaterally and just send this down to the DOJ for possible prosecution.
That is Chad Pergram at Fox News. A hacker broke into the Maricopa County, Arizona election data computers in 2020 and obtained 633,000 voter registration files. Just the News is reporting, however, that the Biden Justice Department refused to bring charges, even after the FBI got the suspect to confess. Those documents have been declassified and made public now by the White House. Prosecutors closed that case in 2023. And Wawa fans rejoice. 3 locations of the Philly-based chain are opening soon. The Clarksville location opened in June, and now Wawa is holding grand opening celebrations for another one in Dixon, August 26th, a Wawa in Lebanon, September 2nd, and a third in Murfreesboro, September 10th. By the end of 26, Wawa plans to have 7 locations across the Volunteer State. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Times are tough. Absolutely, I agree. Now, if you need a new truck or a minivan, maybe an SUV, Mid-10 Ford, they can help you out with great selection, terrific pricing as well. Mid-10 Ford, they've been around for 56 years, since 1969, helping people get the vehicle that is right for them. They can help you save $1,000 or more on select Ford trucks. They also offer special financing as well if you need it. Now, Mid-10 Ford, I like to say that they're a one-stop shop. You can buy your vehicle there at Mid-10 Ford. You can get it serviced. They have a body shop as well. So you want a brand new or a pre-owned vehicle, you can check out all of the great deals at their website, mid10fordtrucks.com. That's mid10fordtrucks.com. They offer low-pressure sales, maximum customer service if you show up at their business, 1319 Foster Avenue. This is a family-owned business going back 4 generations. So, yeah, they do know how to treat customers. So let them help you get into your next vehicle. Again, low-pressure sales, maximum customer service. Find them online, mid10fordtrucks.com. That's mid10fordtrucks.com. Let their family take care of your family.
37 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. What'd you guys do during the commercials? I looked at inappropriate memes. You too? I got a water too. But I was also looking at inappropriate memes as I walked through the hallway.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Gotta stay hydrated. I'm but a humble meme farmer. I got some people added to the meme chat. I kind of started off because we have some new friends in our unauthorized meme chat that we're doing on Instagram. So like I went in slow, you know what I mean? I dipped the toe in the pool with the first one I sent.
Ease them in.
And then I jumped off the high dive. That's what I did.
Made a big splash.
I think they'll know pretty quickly if they want to remain in the meme chat or not.
You see like 6 people leave.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Who knows?
Got to be careful. I feel like I have to go back in the history a little bit and resend some of them.
Oh, I think it's worth it.
Did you see the Outlaw Country one I sent you?
Yeah.
Where the guy's he's doing a song. Should I play this on the air?
I think it's worth it as long as you don't say that you support.
Because we like Outlaw Country, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting different, right? So here, this is a new Outlaw Country in 2026. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Should I actually do this? It says throughout the whole thing, this is just a joke, by the way.
This is just a joke.
This is just a joke.
One last thing. Every single flock camera has about 2 to 3 pounds of copper and about 1 to 2 grams of gold. Do with that information what you will. Well, Robin Hood used to make him a killing, take it from the top and give it to the poor. The middleman don't need it, that Christian, long as you get in a little more. That face mask, saws, all work, gloves and coveralls, bought and cash in the top of the truck. Leave your phone at home and plates half hidden. Middleman won't ask where you getting that copper in the hills. You ain't got a mouth.
I mean, it's sick. It also says hypothetically. It says hypothetically.
All hypothetical.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
You sure about that?
Hey, we're taking calls today from people that are running for office. It's a good segue. Maybe I'll ask them how they feel about flock cameras. Let's go to Pat Clemens. What are you running for, Pat?
Hey, everybody. I'm running for County Commission in District 19 in Rutherford County.
Oh, what's up, man? Well, welcome to the program. You're running for this office for the first time?
Yes, sir. This is my first time I've ever been involved in politics.
All right. Well, what made you want to get involved in politics?
Oh, gosh. Well, we just continue to have underrepresentation. I'm actually a Democrat. I'm calling into a conservative show, but
dude, you know what,
we've
man?
had a lot.
Listen, I respect it. You got it. Like, people get mad, right? So people will get mad. I saw somebody got mad at Monty Fritz for going on Alex Jones's show, and I'm like, if you don't have money and you want to get your message out, you should go everywhere. Why wouldn't you?
Sure.
So
yeah, I don't agree with Monty Fritz.
Yeah.
But, I have met him, and he's a smart guy, and we do have some common ground.
Yeah, that's cool. So tell me what it is about the Democrat Party that attracts you.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I think we're representative of just average, everyday people, and this commission is mostly representing a small number of people that benefit off of developing land at the expense of through growth. The people are handling the back end expenses of growth. We have heard callers calling in and saying how we have people coming in and changing things, and what's the average person getting out of the growth? I'm not against growth, but I think more like a controlled growth is a smarter thing for our county.
So you got a long career in healthcare IT. You got experience in IT integration, information protection.
Working on teams. I've worked on lots of different teams over about 30-year career in IT. Worked with a lot of people from all over the country and the world. Worked on issues, managed big budgets. I know about working on teams, and when I see the county commission, when I watch the county commission operate, I knew that's something that I could do. So
okay, so you're going to have to work with Republicans. obviously.
Oh, sure.
So what are some conservative ideas that you vibe with?
Oh gosh, I think responsible spending is one thing. You know, when we tax people, we ought to be sure that we're not going to keep, coming up with more ways to tax them. We should come up with a tax rate that will pay for things over the years, like we're trying to buy a jail and 2 schools, and how are we planning on having another tax increase like we had in 2023? We had a 16% tax increase here. That was not Democrats that did that. There's one of the 2 Democrats on a commission of 21 voted against it. So you can't blame that on Democrats. So, we have the same concerns as everybody in this county. So, I hope people will consider Democrats. I'm running against an independent.
Yep.
And
you're running against Rommel McMurray.
Rommel, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's an independent, and we don't have a Republican running against the 2 of us. And I'm just afraid that Republicans will just give the vote away to somebody just because I'm a Democrat.
Well, so. it does show a lack of people willing to get into the fight. I mean, when you're going up for a county commissioner seat, there is no conservative running for this seat. And I'm just looking. I pulled up a brief history of you. It's like the fact that our choice for that seat is between an independent and then you were endorsed by the Tennessee Advocates for Planned Parenthood. I find that a little offensive.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm not like a pro-abortion guy, but I am pro women's health. And when they passed these laws against Planned Parenthood, they threw out the baby with the bathwater. And also,
they were trying to kill the baby. They were trying to kill the baby in general.
I don't believe in banning. I believe in a woman's choice over her body, especially in the case of rape and incest and crimes against people. I don't really think that that's the right to stop a woman from doing what she chooses.
If I killed a pregnant woman, should I be charged for murder twice?
I'm not sure about that.
You have no idea?
I'm not sure about that.
If I shot a pregnant woman in the stomach, and the bullet went through the baby, and the bullet went through.
Is definitely not. My main issue is not Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When it's like that's your big endorsement, that's like I can't get over that.
Oh, I've had lots of endorsements. I've had endorsements from Change Tennessee. I've had endorsements from people I've worked with in the past. I have lots of endorsements. So just one is not the only thing that should decide. I mean, I'm running against an opponent who
commissioners
put in jail for stealing my signs. Would you rather have somebody that appreciates a woman's choice, or would you rather have somebody that can't be trusted and has an integrity problem?
If I'm going to be honest with you, I would 100% take the guy that steals the signs over the guy that's pro-abortion. And commissioners, commissioners.
I'm not even sure what he's for because he never even says what he's for.
I don't even know the guy, if I'm being honest with you. But if I was faced with a binary decision and it was a guy that steals signs or a guy that's pro-abortion, I'm going with the sign stealer.
There are single issue voters, and if that's what turns them, I'll be.
Well, I mean, commissioners will vote on non-binding resolutions that touch on abortions, guns, other cultural topics. You're not going to change laws, but you are going to signal values. And I don't really want like those values raised up in Rutherford County.
Yeah, county commissioners don't vote on anything that involves a decision around an abortion.
Well, like I said, you touch on non-binding resolutions. Constituents often contact commissioners about state level social issues. I mean,
give me an example of something where a county commissioner has anything to do with abortion.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's a mountain for me to get over.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
What would you do if you won the election? What would you be your main touch points?
Oh gosh, I would have to go visit the jail in person. We have issues with the jail and the new jail construction. I've already been out to gotten a tour of the dump. We have a landfill issue here. these are all growth problems. I'd like to go get a tour of the sites where they're planning on building the new schools to accommodate the growth. There are a lot of things coming up. I just need to get farther up to speed on than I am now. So,
all right. Well, hey man, listen, I'll give you all the respect in the world for calling into a conservative radio station to get your message out. I think that shows you have stones, and I do respect that. I'll just be honest, like it's the social stuff. I would have a hard time voting for you.
Sure, that's fine.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Hope everybody will consider it. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care. Let's go to Chris Hughes, House District 45. Mr. Hughes, how are you?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Thanks for the opportunity to call in and let them voters know kind of the issues and where I stand. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, tell me about your campaign.
Okay, pretty much it's a campaign that's focused on term limits for the state legislatures. I think a lot of times we get up there and a lot of guys become fossilized in what they're doing, the ideas and what they're pushing like that. So I'd like to see state term limits on that. I think I'm not for the voucher system. I know they call it the school choice, but I'm not for that. I think there's a lot of things that money could be used for. I don't think it's sustainable. And I think one of the biggest things they're going to do is once you keep pumping money in there and expanding it, it's really going to start taking a toll on the fiscal budget of the state of Tennessee. I'd also like to redraw some of the house lines. I think a lot of them don't make sense, especially up here in our area where they just don't make sense on the Sumner County side and other ones. And I don't know if other candidates have to deal with that or facing that. But fiscal conservative, University of Tennessee graduate, served in the Army 4 years, come back, run a family business, construction, 25 years, building homes, and I just want to get back and been a county commissioner before and served on the SEC for the Republican Party. So that's kind of a few things, highlights.
So you're running for the seat that's been opened by Johnny Garrett, who's running for Congress, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
You got a 3-way Republican primary today against Brian Stewart and John Gentry. The winner is going to face Democrat Mandy Cook in November. What separates you from the pack with Stewart and Gentry?
I think the biggest thing is I was 8 years county commissioner up in Sumner County, and during that time, 06-14, we faced a fiscal crisis. So I know what it's like to have to tighten your belt. We also had to cut government. We had to let people go, and nobody wanted to do that. But when the budgets weren't hurt, we didn't immediately go to tax increase. We actually had to cut the government, do that. I've also had to do, when it comes to floating bonds or doing stuff like that fiscally. I'm not for corporate welfare. I don't think we should be doing a lot of the stadium, putting money in the state, doing a lot of these projects. I think a lot of times the corporations and or the teams or whatever ought to be putting their own dime in. So that's probably the biggest thing. I've got experience that. Plus, I've got experience with the Republican Party for the last 12 years as an SEC member, working with different people across the state, building relationships and trying to get things done.
Yeah, it says here you were a Trump delegate in, is that correct? You were a Trump delegate in 16 and 20?
I was. So 16 at the convention in Cleveland, and also 20, which got screwed up because of the COVID and Charlotte canceled like that. But yes, I was on the cut, I guess the cutting edge in 15. People thought I lost my mind, but yes, I was there those 2 years, those two times.
They always call you crazy before they call you correct. All right, if you could get some big things done, what are your goals should you win this?
If I win this, if I could get term limits passed, and I'd run for 2 years and get the hell out. But I don't want to be here forever. I'm only here like that. So term limits. Also, look at the budget. I think we're going to take a big fiscal hit when it comes to federal money coming in. I hear rumors about they're wanting to look at the gas tax, start raising it. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. And I'd like to lower the gas tax. I think one of the biggest things is more people have got money in their pocket. They can spend, do what they need to. So definitely that. I like to reform the education and work with the governor on, instead of doing the voucher program, let's look at, kindergarten through first grade, second grade. Let's put more teachers on the front lines coming up out of there so we can get them by a third grade level. These kids can start reading at a third grade level, and so we don't have to catch it on the back end. So that's kind of the two main things I'd like to hit.
Don't feel like you need to answer this, but I am curious who you voting for governor.
I probably will. I've got a long-term relationship with Marsha Blackburn. She's been in my wedding years ago, and her son-in-law, Paul, as a classmate of mine at Hendersonville High School back in '93. So she's got my vote.
All right. Hey, that's fair enough, man. Chris Hughes, running for House District 45 up in Sumner County. Where can people find out more about your campaign?
Yeah, it's Chris Hughes at 45 at .com. And love to have their vote. Big thing. It's Election Day, so get to the polls in Millersville, Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, and I just appreciate your vote.
All right, Chris. Well, we appreciate you, man. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, we got time for one more real quick. Will Bolton in Athens, State Representative District 23. Mr. Bolton, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I'm a retired federal agent. More importantly, I'm a husband of 35 years, a dad of 6, and a granddad of 6.
Love it.
That's some of my reasons for running. You know, I want to keep our area what it should be for my kids and grandkids. You know, I've seen the word conservative gets dropped around a lot lately, and it's kind of like the Inigo Montoya on The Princess Bride, right? I don't think that word means what you think it means. And I see these guys, they keep dropping the word, and then they're not fiscally responsible. You know, your last caller and I, we agree on a lot. The voucher program, that's one reason I decided to run. I just think that's a massive misuse of taxpayer funds. It's a redistribution of wealth in reverse.
Well, it doesn't make any sense either. Like we're sending tax dollars to Islamic schools. If you look at the gap, we're going to give $7,000 to an underprivileged student when the private school tuition is $15,000. It doesn't actually pay for the school. So I have some big issues with that as well.
Yeah, and then you look at it too, right? I mean, the 65 to 80% of the kids getting them are already in private school, and then you look at some of the upper income thresholds. You know, a family of 4, the cap was $176,000 a year that you could make and get vouchers. I worked at a private school for a couple of years, and I can tell you, pick up and drop off, I'm seeing, I would see these young stay-at-home moms driving Denali's and Yukons and Armadas, and I know how many vouchers that school ended up taking, but it's just a waste of taxpayer dollars. It's the same thing with this corporate welfare they've got. You know, it's $900 million to Ford and $500 million to the Titans and $300-something million to the FedEx Forum and the Nashville Zoo. And, the area we live in over here, it's a rural area, right? I mean, it's close to the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, we're in that area there, and it's a poor area. And, it's interesting because we've got so many educators here that's kind of the driving issue for a lot of folks. They're mad about this voucher program. I retired. I was a special agent with DHS when I retired, and so I retired about 50. When you're a gun and badge carrier, you can do that. And so I retired, and my wife said, "You drive me up the wall. Go do something." So I started subbing in the schools, and I noticed that these schools are run down. There's if you plug a laptop into a wall in some of them, it's sparking. I mean, it's, you think about, I just read something the other day that said the voucher program is going to cost well over $1 billion in 5 years. And, you look at last year with $400 million, this year's a little over 5. But imagine if you took that money and you divided it by 95 and you gave each county in Tennessee that same money, what you could do. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. There's also when they talk about lowering taxes, my opponents, putting mailers out about it left and right. And it's kind of like, when have you done that? What specifically have you done there? And it's the same thing with, Second Amendment issues. And, there's just a whole plethora of things. But, somebody asked me, I don't know, about 10 months ago if I would think about running. And I said, let me think about it because I know, I'm going against an incumbent.
Yep.
And I know that, it's been interesting. I've been called everything but a fine Christian man lately. So,
I mean, you're challenging Mark Cochran, who has held the seat since 2019. What are your big differential points between you and Representative Cochran?
Well, I'm actually conservative. I'm a constitutional conservative. I believe in Barry Goldwater, Ronald Reagan. I believe in a small, limited government with specific functions. I think you take enough tax dollars to pay for those functions, which is the roads and police and that kind of thing. And then you take the rest of the money needs to be reinvested back into our communities because at the end of the day, it's taxpayer funds. It's a pet peeve of mine when these guys say public funds. They're taxpayer funds. That's
right.
it. I worked in internal affairs for half my federal career, and so people will say to me like, why are you constitutionally conservative like you are? And I say, because I worked in internal affairs for half my federal career, and I've seen misuse and waste, fraud, and abuse, and I if we're confined within the limits of the Constitution, that kind of stuff's not going to happen. And so, you even look at, there's debate over the voucher program being constitutional, per the Tennessee state constitution. And so these are just the kind of things we've got to get back to. The founding fathers and the folks who wrote the Tennessee state constitution meant what they wrote.
Amen.
That's kind of like the schools, right?
Yeah.
Well,
they
say. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, we're kind of up against it. I would love to continue this conversation. Yeah. But real quick, what's the website where we can learn more about you? Will Bolton, he's running for State Representative District 23.
Yeah, Bolton4FORTN.com. And I also have a Facebook page, Will Bolton for State Rep.
Will, I appreciate you calling in, man, and good luck today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
1058, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The war in Iran's led to dwindling supplies of crucial air defense missiles in the national stockpile. And Mick Mulroy, an ABC News contributor and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, says
we should be concerned. If the reports are correct, we have some like the THAAD that are down 80%. And that is significant in that not just our forces rely on these for defensive purposes, but so do our allies and partners in the region.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said today that a Washington Post reported dust-up between President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over the stockpile, quote, never happened. 1 week after Dr. Anthony Fauci refused to answer questions at a Senate hearing on his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, that Senate committee voted to hold him in contempt of Congress, setting up a referral to the Justice Department. Chairman Rand Paul said before the party line vote,
Dr. Fauci faced no risk of federal prosecution. All he had to do was tell the truth. More than 100 times, though, he refused.
But Democratic Senator Gary Peters said this vote would hurt the committee's credibility moving forward.
Future witnesses will argue that appearing before Congress exposes them to punishment regardless of whether they comply with the subpoena and invoke a constitutional protection.
Federal authorities are investigating whether Iranian-backed hackers are those who've targeted dozens of water systems across the country. ABC's Jim Ryan says this has happened before.
There is some precedent to the phenomenon. In early 2024, hackers got into the water supply system in the tiny town of Muleshoe, Texas, causing the downtown water tower to briefly overflow. That cyber attack was linked to hackers backed by the Russian government.
As food safety concerns continue and cyclosporiasis cases linked to iceberg lettuce have been reported in a number of states. Federal officials now say jalapenos linked to a salmonella outbreak have been connected to a grower in Mexico. You're listening to ABC News.
If you haven't
It's 11:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hands. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. They're our title sponsor tonight for our big primary party down there at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro. We're very excited. I might be, it might be me. I might be the most excited. Because a lot of times I have to drive all over the place. And tonight I don't.
It's right in your backyard.
Tonight it's a hop and a skip, baby.
It's a little stroll.
Plus, some of my fondest party memories are tied to Hop Springs.
It's a good place.
Like, I think we all remember where we were when we found out Joe Biden beat Medicaid. And I found that out at Hop Springs with you guys during that debate. That was an awesome party. Tonight's going to be awesome, too. What? Do you remember that?
I do.
You beat it to death, Joe. You beat it to death. It was awesome.
Give me a break.
I still think that they set him up. The Democrats.
Come on, man.
No, I mean it. Like, I think they could have given him the good juice, and they didn't give him the good juice. You know what I mean? Because up until that point, whenever Joe had stepped into the ring, they had shot him up with something that really perked him up.
Oh, for sure.
It either didn't take, like he started getting Hunter Biden levels of resistance to the drugs. You know what I mean?
He adapted.
Yeah. Or they gave him the saline that night. You know what I mean?
Placebo.
Yeah, it was the placebo effect. It had to be.
I think he was building resistance for sure.
He could be. He could be. You're welcome to call in. 615-737-9986. If you are running for an office in Tennessee, we would love to have you on the program. 615-737-9986. We'll give you some time. Even if you're a Democrat, you're more than welcome. And we were trying to get Andy Ogles on. Let me text him real quick. He's hanging out with. He big timed me. Did you know that? He totally big timed me. I was like, I was texting a bunch of candidates, and so I shot a message to Ogles, and I was like, "Listen, you want to jump on?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. I'm hosting Secretary Kennedy today." It's like, so is that like, I'd love to, but I can't. Let me know. Let me know. I told him that him and RFK, you're welcome. Bring Bobby. Just come by the studio. I'm down. I'm down. But if you're running for an office in Tennessee, whether it's county commissioner, maybe you're running for mayor, maybe you're running for sheriff, you're running for Congress, you're running for state representative, state senator, you are welcome to join the program. Make your pitch to the voters. Sean was very upset with me. Sean was not happy. We had a Democrat call in. What was that guy's name? Do you remember his name? Pat Clements? Is it Pat Clements?
Yeah, it was Pat Clemens.
Pat Clements. He's a Democrat in Rutherford County. And he said Sean was upset with the way I treated him. I said, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm trying my best to be polite when we have company over. And I tried to give him an opportunity to talk. But Sean said, Chris, I'm not supportive of that Democrat in Rutherford County, but that was very disrespectful. You gave the Republicans the time to give their pitch to the voters, but as usual, several of you guys beat up on these folks, and you don't give them or the voters the same respect by hearing the positions and what their ideas are. I asked him what success looks like. I asked him what his goals are. I felt like I gave him some time. He said you talk over them, and it's a huge turnoff. I hope he doesn't get it because I live in Rutherford, but that was so disrespectful and uncalled for. Was the disrespectful part when I said I would go with the guy stealing signs over the guy that's pro-abortion? I was just being honest.
That's all you can ask for.
I rank murder as a worse crime than stealing political signs.
Agreed.
And if we're dealing with two criminals, I would go with the guy that doesn't support murder. So I guess Pat might not be a criminal. That's probably the wrong thing to say. I would still go with the guy that stole signs. That's just me. Maybe you have a different opinion. I'm fine. We got We got Greg on the line. Greg, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I just voted, and I did want to say that I thought that Williamson County had the coolest voted thing. It has a 250, your 250 vote. Had a really cool sticker. And I voted for Frist, and then I voted all the judges. I voted to get new ones. But anyway, I'm not a big Marsha Blackburn fan, and I will hold my nose and vote for her if she gets nominated. But I'm afraid that when her first act is going to be that when she gets voted in, that she's going to vote to have the governor's mansion moved to Washington, D.C., where she wanted to talk to any of us Tennesseans.
I don't know. That might be a tough sell. Maybe she talks.
I'll tell you,
Greg, she talks to Tennesseans every day.
Yes, all evidence to the.
Hey, what's that?
All the evidence to the contrary. Every time I see her, she's kind of going, and I think she picks her Tennesseans very carefully. The ones she talks to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. Every time
I like Frisk. I was hoping maybe it was an upset today. Maybe it was an upset. I got here to vote. All these guys in Williamson County, go get your sticker. These are really cool stickers. I got an extra one, and these other ones around are kind of lame. I don't know. They're really cool.
I heard even Matt Murphy. I heard even Matt Murphy might take the sticker this time, and I appreciate the call, Greg. We got a guy, maybe you've heard of him, Andy Ogles. He is running for Congress in Tennessee. Congressman Ogles, what's up?
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good, man. What are you getting into? How's your election day looking?
Well, busy. Had quite a bit of media this morning. I'm actually spending part of the afternoon with Secretary Kennedy. He's actually in town, so we're going to be touring a couple of sites. And then it'll be back on the campaign trail. So it's busy. I wear two hats. I've got the campaign hat, but then I also have the congressional hat that I have to wear. So I posted quite a few of our secretaries as someone who's close to the president here in Nashville.
Yeah, well, you got a heck of a campaign running. You got the big endorsement from Trump, Secretary Kennedy with you today. But they're saying that your race is going to be closer, a little closer than people predicted. What are your thoughts?
It's an amazing district. It's a huge district. So like many elections, it'll be based on turnout. We're expecting a victory. The question is it 9 points? Is it 12 points? Hey, it could be 2 points, but we're expecting to win. Our polling consistently has had us ahead, but you take nothing for granted. Our kids play sports, and we always tell them to finish strong and run through the tape, and that's what I'm doing today.
So you're running up against Charlie Hatcher. Is the redrawing of the district impacting things for you?
It's new, and obviously they just redo the district, so you have to go and introduce yourself to a whole new set of people. But that's the job, right? It was an opportunity to pick up the seat to help us hold the midterms, and I was more than happy to be the one that kind of bear the brunt of that. I took over Tennessee 5, so I took Nashville from a Democrat. Now they drew me all the way to West Memphis, and I'll be taking that part of Memphis away from a Democrat. So you can call me the Democrat Slayer, if you will. But that being said, we expect to win, and I do have the endorsement of President Trump.
So what are your big plans if you win this reelection bid? Where do you want to go from here?
Well, the job is to represent the district, which means I'll be out in the district. Fortunately, I have some familiarity with the district. My great grandfather's actually buried up in Obion County, so they lived out that way. So I know West Tennessee, and I'm going to get to know it better, quite frankly.
What do you think about flock cameras? I know Tim Burchett was talking about some legislation to regulate and restrict them. Where are you at on flock cameras?
I think that if you think about Dave Ramsey, where you shred the credit cards, I think we should ban them and then have these rallies where people can bring a saw and cut them down.
Yep. I'm with you. Do you?
I mean, it's an invasion of privacy. We don't want to live in a surveillance state. Look, there's certain areas where you might need surveillance because it's unsafe or it's a high crime area. But to have surveillance just to watch people, no, thank you.
No, I'm with you. And it actually makes me really nervous because I feel like this is building out the infrastructure should a communist regime get back in power. Like we saw during the Biden administration, we saw a lot of censorship and a lot of targeting of conservatives. Like, don't forget, they called moms and dads at school board meetings domestic terrorists. So this kind of technology wielded in the wrong hands could be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to be careful what you ask for, and so that tool that otherwise is pitched as harmless can easily be turned and weaponized against you. And so, perfect example would be the flock cameras, and it's, quite frankly, a surveillance state. And we don't want to live in Russia. We don't want to live in China. This is the American dream for a reason. It's because we're free and we have a right to freedom, and the flock cameras fly in the face of that.
When you get back in office, should you win this re-election bid, you have been one of the most outspoken members of Congress, but where are you going to target specific federal legislation? What are you going to prioritize in your second term?
Well, the question is, I doubt the Senate passes the Save America Act, so I've worked with the White House, and the Speaker will re-up that. That'll be kind of, first thing on the agenda, provided the Senate doesn't do it. But then I'm chairman of cyber in the Homeland Security Committee, and you see some of these breaches we've had with AI. In fact, there was just one with Meta overnight. And so I am tasked with helping build the safety guardrails to make sure we beat China in the AI race, but also make sure that Americans are safe from AI, which, again, like the flock cameras, there are times where it might have a benefit, but quite frankly, it can be weaponized against us.
With your background in the cybersecurity, are you looking at the threats against us? And I read an article yesterday where it said that the way quantum computing is advancing, the encryption that's out there for pretty much everything, from your email account to your Netflix password to your banking, quantum computers are going to be able to hack all of that. And they say by 2029, I feel like that's a little bit further out than the reality of it. How do you protect against that?
Well, so that's the question, right? And so we're essentially in an arms race with China. So as the chairman of cyber, I get classified briefings that most members of Congress don't get. And when I'm in those classified briefings, it's China, China, China. Them constantly attacking our electrical grid, our water systems. You just saw it reported in the last 48 hours. They attacked on some, I think it was a dozen or so water systems. But we're in this race on who has the best AI and who has the fastest or best quantum computing and who gets there first. And so if China beats us there, we have problems. And so, again, how do you balance getting there before China and then don't turn on Skynet in the process, kind of a throwback to Terminator.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Andy Ogles, if you had 30 seconds to tell a voter why they should vote for you, what is it?
Look, I am endorsed by President Trump. I'm ranked as one of the most conservative members of Congress. I am a fighter. I'm a proven fighter, and I have the track record to prove it.
Andy Ogles, I appreciate the time, man. Have fun with Bobby Kennedy today.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you. God bless. That was Andy Ogles. Real quick, we got Brent Taylor on the line. He is running in the open 9th District Republican primary against Todd Warner, Jeremy Thompson, Charlotte Bergman. Welcome to the program, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I appreciate it. We had one of your opponents on earlier this morning, Todd Warner. You're in the heavily redrawn new district, the 9th. I mean, it's a big district, long time held by Steve Cohen. He retired after the map change. You came out guns swinging after the redistricting. Tell me what you're going to do should you win this seat.
Well, I will tell you, I will do what I've been doing in the state Senate, and that is fighting violent crime to keep crime from creeping out of these big cities into our smaller communities, fight illegal immigration, and to also fight China. And I have done all three in the state Senate, which is why President Trump endorsed my campaign. When he called me about 2.5 weeks ago to talk with me about his endorsement, he mentioned all three of those things, and that was why he was supporting my campaign and said I have his full and complete endorsement. And you had mentioned that this seat, it was held by Steve Cohen. You know who else held this seat? Was David Crockett. David Crockett used to represent District 9 in the House of Representatives in the 1830s, And just like at his last reelection, he said, I'm going to Texas and you folks can go to hell. I think I've got that same Tennessee grit that David Crockett has. I would say it a little bit differently. God willing, and with the voters of today, I'm going to Congress and I'm going to give the Democrats hell.
Well, you have pushed a strong focus on crime and public safety. That is your signature issue in the Senate. How do you keep Memphis safe after the Memphis Safe Task Force goes away?
Well, the number one, the state will still be there. There's a commitment from the state of Tennessee to keep a lot of the state resources there. But the other thing that doesn't get talked about a lot is the fact that there are a lot of federal connections and relationships that have now been built with ICE and other agencies, that those relationships will extend beyond the Memphis Safe Task Force time in Memphis. But look, I'm the only candidate in this race, and President Trump mentioned that when he endorsed me. I'm the only one in this race that has the experience to be able to work with the Trump administration, and I want to do the same thing with Nashville and its crime, because Nashville's crime problem is just about as bad as Memphis's was, and we need the same type of intervention to reduce crime in Nashville to protect Williamson County and Bedford County and Marshall and Rutherford County and all of these counties in and around Nashville.
How do you balance public safety and the fear of the technological and government overreach when it comes to flock cameras, and where do you stand on flock cameras?
Well, I will tell you, I was against flock cameras before flock cameras were a thing, and let me tell you what I mean by that. I was on the city council down in Memphis in the late 1900s, and there was a push to get red light cameras, which are really the precursors to the flock cameras.
Yep.
And the entire time I was on the city council, I fought red light cameras, and we never had them in the city of Memphis until I left the council. And about a year after I retired from the city council, they got red light cameras throughout the city. And so I've got a track record going all the way back, like I said, to the late 1900s, fighting these red light cameras and flock cameras. So I have a record on fighting against those cameras.
Brent Taylor, he is running for Congress in the 9th District. If you got 30 seconds to make a case for voters, how are you making that case?
Look, if you've got President Trump's cell number, you should call him and ask him why he endorsed me and why the voters should vote for me. Short of that, I am working hard to ensure that we protect our communities from the threat of crime, illegal immigration, and China. And I want to ask for people's vote today.
Well, Mr. Taylor, good luck in your race, and I appreciate you calling into the show.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so we got Mark Pody on the line and Butch Baker on the line. We're going to get to these calls after we hit the break. But real quick, I have some breaking news.
This is a breaking news update on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I have just heard from Matt Murphy himself that because the stickers are the 250th anniversary voting stickers, Matt Murphy is going to accept a voting sticker today. Listen, I wouldn't have believed it unless I read it with my own eyes. You heard it here first. I'm sure Ken is going to run with this in his newscast as the lead. Matt Murphy is going to take the sticker. It's 11:25. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Aaron Parker over at Parker Safes and Vaults. The guys from Parker Safes and Vaults are actually going to be at our election night watch party this evening at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro, so you can meet them and you can understand why when I tell you they're the best, they are the absolute best. If you got things in your home that you need to protect, whether it's firearms to family heirlooms and everything in between, you need to talk to my friends at Parker Safes and Vaults. Shop with people that don't hate you. This is a veteran-run, family-owned Christian business, and they will help you pick out the right safes for your needs and your budget. That's their specialty, and they've been doing it for close to 20 years. You make one call to Parker's, and that safe is going to become crystal clear which one you need, and they'll professionally deliver it and install it themselves. If you need serious protection, these guys sell serious products. Liberty, American Security, Rhino, Holland, Graf Under, and more. You won't find filing cabinets at Parker's that can be tipped over and pried open by a teenager. Only real safes. Give them a call today. Get this done. 931-842-6445. 931-842-6445. Or find them online at parkersafes.com. 35 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. The guys at Better Water are also sponsoring our massive election night party tonight at Hop Springs in the Borough. We're very, very excited. As excited as Matt Murphy is to get his new sticker this afternoon. Somebody had mentioned on the text line, it's going to be like Christmas for Murphy. He's getting Todd Warner's glasses, and he's going to get an I Voted sticker. After years of denying the stickers, he said he can't deny them anymore.
He'll wear it proudly.
So the Freedom 250 sticker is the one for him. That's what again, I don't know if he's going to admit it on the air. He's probably too proud to admit it on the air. I bet you he'll get on the air and say something like, I would say something like, I took money from Big Sticker or something like that. I bet, like, if I know Murphy, that's what he's going to say. 'Cause he's a man of pride.
Oh, absolutely.
He doesn't want to let you guys know that, but I want you to know that it's okay to take the sticker. Even Matt Murphy is taking the sticker.
Approved.
So we're really proud of him. He's come a long way.
Big ups.
Big respect. We're also opening the phone lines for all of the candidates that would like a little bit of airtime as they get into their reelection. We got Mark Pody and Butch Baker on the line. We're going to start with State Senator Pody, who is going up for his reelection only because he may have run the best jingle of all time. Even my 4-year-old is singing markpody.com constantly throughout the House. Senator Pody, welcome to the program.
It's great to be here. I really appreciate you doing this on your show to let all the candidates get in. It lets people hear exactly what's going on.
Yeah, man, we got to do it. Tell me why you decided to run for re-election, because I as far as I was under the impression that you weren't really sure if you were going to run for re-election when the season kicked off.
No, so 4 years ago, I was not. In fact, I had told people I was not going to run. I met with a lot of people, told them I did not intend to run. That was 4 years ago. And I got rid of my signs. I did everything. I thought I was absolutely done. However, during the course of the season, and about a year and a half ago, I believe that I was called that I need to run again. And so I started running. I've been running now for well over a year, and my work's not done. I got a lot left to do. I think I've done a really good job of being a conservative legislator. I can tell you I've passed more bills than I would hope to have passed. We don't need more bills, more laws, but I've passed dozens of bills that I've written and I've passed, but I only want to do them if I think it's a meaningful piece of legislation that's going to make a difference.
What would you hang your hat on as some of your biggest successes over the last few years? So I have fought very hard for law enforcement. In fact, all of the FOP have come and have endorsed me. I've gone ahead and we had an oversight board in Nashville, Tennessee, and that oversight board was not good, was not treating our law enforcement the way that they needed to, wasn't helping with crime, wasn't helping with what it was designed to do. So I wrote a piece of legislation to make all boards of oversight for police departments be uniform across the state. I think that made it a lot more effective for those in Davidson County. I think law enforcement was satisfied with what I did, as well as everybody else. We kept the board out there, but we made something that everybody could work with. I worked with all parties to get something done. I also worked with the fire department. In fact, the fire department, all the firefighters have endorsed me, and they go out. Most of the state is protected by volunteer firemen. And so I've gone out of my way to make sure that they're appreciated in meaningful ways. And one of the things that I thought I could do that would help was I made it where they could get their own license plate, where they didn't have to pay for a license plate if they're a volunteer fireman. I know it might be just a small thing, but it was something I think the state could say that we really appreciated the work that they're doing on a volunteer basis, and we did something concrete to help them without breaking the bank of the state. If you win your reelection bid, what are your big goals moving forward?
Transportation. We are growing so fast, our roads are not keeping up, and we need to have a reoccurring money coming into the Department of Transportation that's dedicated, that's a user fee, that's not going to be a new tax, and it's going to keep up with inflation. I proposed this for the last couple of years, and we've gotten part of it done. But one of the things that we did was to say, if you buy a car, if you buy a new or used electric, gas, whatever, the sales tax that you're currently paying on that vehicle needs to be directed directly into TDOT to help us with the roads. We are billions of dollars short and behind on our roads. This would make a significant difference. It would be $1 billion recurring, and it's going to grow with inflation, because if you buy a car today, it's going to be costing more 5 years from now. So it'll keep up with the roads, not like the gas tax did. So that would be the next thing that we would work on. And I think that's one of the most important things we can do for Middle Tennessee.
State Senator Mark Pody is on the line now. Full disclosure, Senator Pody, we are about to have your opponent on the line. And he's going to be jumping on with me immediately following this call. So is there anything that you would like the opportunity to get in front of that you think your opponent may or may not say about you?
Nope, I think we've done this. He's a good Christian guy, and I'm trying to say, here's who I am, here's what I'm doing, and I'll let him make his own case and let the voters decide. So unlike some of the other campaigns, I think that he and I are both trying to stay away from anything in close to saying, hey, here's what the other guy's bad about or whatever. So, I'm just going to share, here's what my campaign is and here's what I'm doing. Anybody can Google me, and if you go to the Tennessee General website, you could find the bills that I've passed and such. I've been endorsed by the AFP, the Americans for Prosperity. I've been endorsed by the conservative group, as I'm tied with the most conservative senator up in the Senate. I've been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce, the NFIB. These are all the organizations that have sat and analyzed each of the candidates and saying, who do they think is going to be best for Tennessee? And I've gotten over and over and over all of these endorsements, including the NRA.
Well, I respect that. Where can we find more about your campaign? If I'm making my decision today, where can I find more?
MarkPody.com.
MarkPody. Just like the jingle. The jingle.
I should sing it for you, but
the jingle's been money. I'm not going to lie to you. We need more jingles.
All right.
Appreciate you, State Senator Pody. And State Senator Pody's opponent, Butch Baker, is now on the line. Mr. Baker, welcome to the program.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having us on.
What do you got? What are you thinking? You just heard your opponent. What makes you set apart from Mark Pody?
Well, and I appreciate Mark's kind words right there. And we have kept this election pretty straight up. I voted twice for Mark when he was running unopposed, but Mark told me he wasn't going to run, and which let me get my mind around it. He told a lot of people that, and so I said, okay, you're sure? He said, I'm so sure. I burned all my campaign stuff in the backyard, so I decided to run. And the minute I decided to run, Mark came out on top of me. So I started looking at Mark's record, and I realized that there's some things that are pretty problematic here. Mark has signed on to a lot of bills, but he's never passed a bill that's his since he's been there. 0-28 on bills he's tried to pass. This last assembly, catastrophe bill on abortion that he ended up having to pull. And then he had a really great bill on eliminating tax on fruits and vegetables, but he didn't have the consensus to get that passed. If I would have been sitting there, I'd have voted for it. In fact, I'm going to reintroduce it when I'm elected. So there are just things that Mark and I like Mark, don't get me wrong, good Christian man, but he's been there 16 years. He's told people that he was a term limits guy. Okay. So he was in the assembly as a representative on the third term and the fourth term that he ran for. Now he's running for his third term in the Senate. Well, what's term limits to somebody? To me, it's 2 terms, and that's what I mean to be about. So I can make the promise that if I win, I'll be there 2 terms, and that's it for me.
Tell me what you would do if you get the opportunity to serve those 2 terms. What are your big goals?
One of the things I would do is something Mark and the Assembly just passed. They passed the Arab Heritage Month in the state of Tennessee. I would repeal the Arab Heritage Month, Muslim Heritage Month in the state of Tennessee. We're a Christian state. We're a Christian nation. I don't even understand that. So that would be the first thing. Next things we have to do is, especially in our district, we have to deal with schools. We got to take, we've got a school voucher program that we need to keep a close eye on to know. It's a hot topic in our district to know if it's going to work or not. So that's one thing about taking care of our teachers in public school and also keeping our students safe while they're there. You realize we had metal detectors in our schools and only kept them for 1 month and then pulled them all out. Rutherford County just funded it completely for 55 schools over there. Why aren't we the same here in Wilson County? And then we need to watch our roads. Our roads are in terrible shape. I wonder, we can work with CDOT better if it's a relationship thing. I mean, to go down there and make that happen. Moving people 80 to 100, moving to Middle Tennessee. If you believe that statistic, that's not mine. That's Nashville's. It's how we're going to deal with it. A monorail system, a train system. There's only one active road being improved on interstates, and that's 65 North. Nowhere else. Chris, we can do better. And as far as schools, 31st in the nation. That's not good enough. And if you look at spending, we may be last.
Yikes. We got a lot of work in front of us. How do you plan to accomplish this?
Well, by building relationships and working with people. Going in and being physical about the money that we're taking in. Is it really going to the places we need for it to be going to for? Because we want to keep taxes low. Nobody wants to raise taxes, not me at all, and I'd stand in the way of any of that. But how can we physically use the money that we got to do better and build relationships to get things done for people? It's more about people and less about politics, and that's what I'll be about.
So what would you tell somebody who says, but we could just elect Pody who already has these relationships?
Well, if you look at his record, the one I just told you about, he's not getting anything done. So what I'm saying is I'm going to go get something done for the people of District 17. So if status quo is okay with everybody, by all means, vote for my opponent. If you want change and you want to done and build relationships, vote Butch Baker.
Butch Baker, I appreciate the time, man. Where can we find out more about your campaign?
It's pretty simple, Chris. It's just butchbaker.com. Please call me. My cell phone's right there. Let's have a conversation.
Hey, I appreciate the time, sir, and good luck in your race.
Thank you, Chris. Great talking to you guys.
Likewise. God bless. All right, I got time for one call, and then there is a lightning round story that I need to do. Don't let me forget. So we had Andy Ogles on earlier, and he mentioned that he's in town with Bobby Kennedy, and I got a Bobby Kennedy story for you. I also have a Rosie O'Donnell story. Fun fact, both are gross. So
I'd rather hear from Bobby, though.
I don't know. When we get to it, I don't know. All right, so real quick, we got Ants Wishing is on the line. And this gentleman is a former Navy pilot, and he is on the line to advocate for his wife, Julie Wishing. And you've probably seen these signs around town if you were in Murfreesboro, because Miss Julie Wishing is running for Rutherford County School Board Zone 7. Ants, welcome to the program, sir.
Well, hey, Chris, you had a lot more information on me than I gave to your screener, so...
Well, so this is what I do. I with the modern advances in technology, I pretty much saw a picture of your house. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I didn't go that far. I'm not.
I don't know if
I'll do that later.
With all we got going on, I don't think I got my lawn mowed this week. So.
All right.
Anyway,
well,
I'm out at the Sports Com in Murfreesboro and holding my sign and waving at people and eating my PBJ sandwich.
So I'm glad that you called in, because we have had the phone lines open all day, and you are the first person that's called in about a school board election. And I don't know about you, I think that these are one of the most important elections that we can cast a vote in. But they're also one of the hardest elections to find out information about. I've seen your wife's signs around town. Tell me a little bit about her and what your platform is.
Okay. We've raised our kids here in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. They're long out of the school system, and we have grandkids and started to get involved a little bit politically. And, like a lot of hardworking Republican conservatives, we're busy working hard and paying bills and putting food on the table, and weren't real involved with politics and didn't realize, like you said, the school board is just incredibly important. And most people like ourselves probably never realize there are 7 individuals on the school board that represent 53,000 kids and 53 schools now making the decision. 7 people. And, Middle Tennessee, you just assume, buckle the Bible belt. Hey, these are all conservative Christian folks on the board making these decisions. And if people remember back a year or two, the one thing that really stood out was the library books, and it's just crazy insanity that people are voting to keep this stuff in the libraries available to young children, and not, they scream book banning, and they did not book ban. They want to make this material age appropriate. Anyway,
which is two different things.
A long way of saying, Julie is a super strong Christian conservative.
And when you say all that, I mean, we're immediately getting the picture. Though I will say, when you talk about being the belt buckle of the Bible Belt, my pastor often says if we're supposed to be the Bible Belt, our pants are around our ankles. And it's because of stuff like that. These unbelievable, inappropriate books that we're finding in libraries all over the state, and in Murfreesboro in particular. So she's a Christian. She's a conservative. She's against those books. I feel like that's enough said for me, and I would imagine that's enough said for the audience. What does her race look like? Who's she running against?
Well, she had a tough race as in the primaries. She defeated an incumbent Republican that was been obviously in office, and Julie had one of the largest margins of victory of any school board representative here in a long time. I think she has good name recognition, and she's been heavily involved in the community in many ways for years. So we feel pretty good about this. Her zone is primarily, Republican. So we're hoping that, we're not taking it for granted, but hoping that she cruises today.
Well, we'll be praying for you guys. Julie Wishing is running for school board. That's Zone 7, correct?
Exactly. And if I could, real quick, a real tough race for a super incumbent right now is Katie Darby, Zone 4. Got to get her reelected.
Okay, Katie Darby, Zone 4. Well, I appreciate the tip. That's Ance Wishing, lobbying for his wife, Julie Wishing. Thank you for the time, sir. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
All right, God bless. Man, we flew through the show today. I didn't know if we were going to get a lot of calls. I figured we would get some. But I had like 10 pages of prep that I could have done anyway.
We've been bouncing back and forth.
We've been rocking. We still got a little time for the lightning round.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we?
Shall we?
We shall.
It's the lightning round with Chris Hand.
All right, so I told you I had a Bobby Kennedy story and a Rosie O'Donnell story. I think I'm gonna try and get to both of them.
We'll try.
Okay. So Bobby Kennedy, this video was going viral yesterday. He has formally decertified a Kentucky organ procurement organization. Yep, Bobby Kennedy has decertified a Kentucky organ procurement organization. They're called Network for Hope. Well, Mr. Kennedy, they're obviously giving people hope, sir. Why would we want to decertify them? Well, it turns out that this organization, Network for Hope, it was hope for others, not hope for you, and they were pushing to remove people's organs who were showing signs of life. So, probably a pretty good call.
Of donors or their families. I'm announcing that HHS has become the decertification of Network for Hope, the organ procurement organization serving Kentucky and parts of Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia. We reached this decision after extensive reviews by CMS and HRSA found persistent patient safety failures despite repeated oversight, repeated warnings, corrective action plans, and multiple opportunities to improve. Federal reviewers found serious deficiencies in nearly 30% of the cases that they examined. We found patients placed on the organ donation pathway who should have never been there. We found cases where the donation process continued despite signs that patients were not appropriate organ donors. We found repeated failures in clinical judgment, oversight, and patient safety. And we found that these problems continued even after the organization promised to correct them. These failures had real consequences. One of those cases involved TJ Hoover. TJ showed signs of awareness while on the operating table about to have his organs removed. Physicians refused to proceed with the organ recovery because they believed that he was still alive. Because they acted, TJ is alive and is here with us today. TJ, we are grateful that you're here, and we're grateful to those physicians who had the courage to do the right thing.
Network for Hope, on the other hand, were pushing for the organs. Now, I know it's a conspiracy theory, but I was extending my license. You had to, it expires, then you didn't know it expired, and you got to go extend it. And they were like, "Would you like to be an organ donor?" And I thought, no, thank you. And it's not because I don't want to give my organs to somebody nice. It's because I don't want to be in a situation where I probably could live, and then there's somebody who's like, that kidney, though.
That's a healthy liver.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I know it's a conspiracy theory, but I hear stories like this, and I just think I'm right. I want to be wrong. Got one more story in the lightning round. Oh, Mason's giving me the, come on.
I'm sorry. All we got to go.
All right, we'll save the Rosie O'Donnell story for tomorrow.
I'm here for it.
You're going to be upset.
Uh-oh.
And I don't think anybody else will cover it. Also, like I predicted, Matt Murphy is now on Twitter, and he's posting that he turned down the sticker.
Allegedly.
He literally wrote exactly what I predicted, that he didn't fall for big sticker. And it's like, bro, I telegraphed this whole thing. I knew you were going to say that because you sent me a picture of the sticker. So, you believe who you want to believe. It's 11:57. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Murphy with Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and this morning we are out and about at my house, my brand new house that I've been talking about on the radio, with Nate from USS. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm excellent. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
We invited Nate out. Now, obviously, when you're a new homeowner, especially when you buy a house that's got a few years on it, you don't know what you're dealing with in terms of foundation. And I know that Nate knows a lot more about what I don't see and what I don't know about than I do. So bring the experts out and get them to check out your house. Hey guys, Matt Murphy again with Nate with USS, and Nate has just wrapped up kind of a look at the house. And Nate, what'd you find?
Well, your house is in pretty good shape for the age of it. I had to look pretty hard to find it.
Okay.
Your house being on a slope like it is here, I think we could do a lot of good by trying to terminate your downspouts a little further from the house there.
Okay.
Roof water is the killer of foundations, and so if we can just get it to a positive grade to drain away from your house, I think that's real cheap insurance.
You want to kind of get it out and downhill.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
So
the idea.
make sure that it doesn't come right back down towards the foundation walls, causing issues, settlement, or leakage.
Now, if folks are watching this video and they are like, we need to get Nate out to the house to do a look. I mean, I watched you do it. It's, 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
To do a comprehensive kind of an examination around the house. and they just give you a call and schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. You can call our main phone number, or you can call reach USSTN.com and schedule right through the website there. Our girls in the call center will get back to you just about immediately, as long as it's during business hours. So
this just makes a lot of sense, folks, for you guys to do an examination of your house like we've done, to check it out. I'm going to get those gutters done with Nate and his team at USS, and then we'll do a video and let you know how those look at the end of all of this. So thank you, guys.
Hey, that'd be great.
We appreciate you, brother.
Matt, we appreciate you.